Hi, my name is Ingrid. I'm 27 years old and I'm depressed. Whew, that is a heavy introduction. Sorry for that. And I guess technically I am not depressed, but I do suffer from a persistent case of depression and have been doing so for the past 10 to 12 years, or maybe even longer than that. It's hard to tell when it started. Now, if you know me, you might be thinking, girl, what are you doing? Why are you filming yourself? What is this? And honestly, you and me both. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going with this, but here I am doing it. You see, the fact of the matter is, I find myself here at the ripe age of 27, having just pulled myself out of my latest major depressive episode that I've been in for the past few weeks, being extremely unhappy with my life, with myself, with my circumstances, but feeling completely trapped and unable to see a way out of this. I can't see a way to make it better or to get myself out of this hole that I dug for myself. I've had the idea of filming this video for a while, and I've tried a few times. I tried a few times when I was still in that depressive episode, and that was basically me looking like absolute shit trying to talk about these things, but I always just ended up bursting into tears the entire time. And I guess maybe that would have been more authentic, but it was just impossible for me to get through and to talk about these things. And a part of me worries that by coming on like this and talking to you like this, all done up, and obviously I don't look too depressed right now in the sense that people imagine a depressed person to look. And I was a little bit worried that people wouldn't believe me if I showed up like this, which is how I show up to the world most of the days. But then I realized that if you think that being depressed means you have to look a certain way or act a certain way, it can be, but for a lot of people it's not. A lot of people do make an effort to look like this and do go out into their lives pretending like everything is fine and putting on a show. And I also find that by doing myself up like this, it helps me talk about it without crying, and it helps me make light of it a little bit easier. And humor and making light of things is definitely a part of my coping mechanism. So if this face and this attitude and the way I speak about things make you think, well, you don't look depressed, you don't seem depressed, I'm good at this. Let me tell you, I've been putting on this show for over a decade, so I know how to pretend. I'm good at this. I should have been an actress in another life. So in a way, this is just as authentic as me sitting here in my baggy sweatpants with no makeup, haven't washed my hair in days would be. I just thought I would put this in here. So I just recently celebrated my 27th birthday, which apparently was my golden birthday, someone told me. And I spent that birthday completely alone in my flat, curled up on this very couch in a fetal position, crying my eyes out, wondering if it was worth it to go on and live for another year. And this has been a reoccurring experience for me for the past 10 to 12 years. Constantly fighting against that darkness in my head that tells me there's no point, you should just end your life, because there's no point to any of this. It's never gonna get better. You're never gonna amount to anything. You're never... yeah. So as you can imagine, 12 years of struggling to find a reason to live, struggling to find reasons to go on, can be pretty exhausting. Depression has stolen so much from me. It's stolen opportunities, it has stolen friendships, it has stolen years of my life that I will never get back, and it's really, really hard for me to reconcile with that, because I know 27 is really no age, but at the same time it feels like, God, I've wasted the best part of my life, my entire youth, on just fighting against this beast that's been pulling me under. And although I've done a lot of great things, I've traveled, I've tried so many different educations, I've lived different places, and I've met a lot of amazing people, I ultimately failed at absolutely everything I ever tried at because of this illness, and that is hard to accept. And although it feels a little bit in my dark, irrational mind like it's too late for me, because 27, you're too old to start over, you've used up all of your chances, but quite frankly, I am sick of allowing this darkness to steal away from me everything. And I know that I can't go on like this, I can't live like this any longer, and I don't want to face another 10 to 12 years of this persistent agony. So I thought to myself, okay, so your life is shit, you hate almost everything about it, you can't see a way out of it, you can't see a light at the end of the tunnel, you might as well throw in the towel now. That is what my brain was telling me. But then I thought, you know what, I haven't tried everything, I haven't tried it all. There are so many things that I wanted to do, but I was too scared, and I thought I wasn't good enough, and I thought it's never gonna amount to anything, there's no point. But there's a beauty in wanting to end your life because you have nothing to lose. And that is what I figured, is before I do actually throw in the towel, I thought to myself, well, you might as well try absolutely everything. You might as well go out there and make a huge fool out of yourself, try everything that you can, experience life as much as you can before you actually make the decision to throw in the towel. So here I am, making this channel, filming this video, putting the most personal parts of myself on blast on the internet. Now, you might be thinking, why? Like, what is this gonna do for you? So, because I feel like I need to explain myself, because the law of Jante is very strong within this one. I grew up in Norway, where we are not encouraged to put ourselves out there. We are not encouraged to think that we are any good at anything, or any special, or any yada yada. And that is like imprinted on me on a cellular level. I was never encouraged to do anything like this in my life, but I don't agree with that. So as hard as it is to challenge those parts of myself that are so deeply ingrained in my upbringing and my DNA, I know better, so I'm here trying to challenge that. But still, let me justify my decision to put myself out there, because my insecurities need it. So here's my list of reasons for why I'm doing this. Number one is because I'm extremely lonely. Now, I'm not saying lonely in the sense that I've been alone all my life. I haven't. I have had a lot of people around me. I've traveled, I've had a lot of friends, a lot of social life, a lot of all of that. But what I'm talking about is deep and meaningful relationships. I haven't really had any of those. Deep and meaningful relationships where there is a mutual understanding, a mutual respect, and a mutual, you know, just a deep knowing of each other. And I think in order to have those kinds of relationships, you have to be yourself, because how are you going to attract people that are like you and that resonate with you if you're not being yourself? If you're not being completely honest and completely authentic to yourself, how are you gonna find those people? Because they won't know you. That is what I reason with. And I'm hoping that by creating this channel and putting myself out there completely honest, completely raw and unfiltered, that I might be able to meet some people that I connect with and that I can relate to on a deeper level. I'm hoping maybe to find a community of people who understand and who feel or have felt the same way, or I don't know. I'm just hoping to find a bit of connection and a bit of community through this. So maybe I'm just hoping that I'll make some friends through this, or just, I don't know, connect with some people with like-minded interests, like-minded values and experiences and yada yada. So I'm very lonely, please be my friend. Reason number 2, I've been carrying this burden, this incredibly heavy secret all by myself for over a decade. Only a couple of people really know the extent of my struggles with depression. I need some accountability in my life, and I need also some support and some encouragement and frankly a little bit of a push every now and then. And since I don't have a lot of people in my life that can play that part, I'm hoping that this channel and me putting myself out there will help me in that, because I've mostly been carrying the burden completely by myself, mostly without any help or without any support. And let me tell you, that makes it all the harder to combat. And it can be really hard to not let these demons in my mind, these irrational thoughts and these negative patterns, it can be really hard not to let those convince me that they are the truth when I'm doing this all by myself. So I'm hoping that by putting myself out there, it can help me kind of see these untrue thought patterns play out. I will be able to identify them myself and say, hey, this is not true. You don't have to think like this. So accountability would be great. Maybe some support, maybe some encouragement would be great. Reason number 3, I know that there are a lot of people out there who are dealing with the same, who are feeling the same, who are also carrying these extremely heavy burdens on their own and struggling to make it through on their own as well. And I think it's really important to talk about these things. I think it's really important to be honest about these things. Not to like pull each other down, but I remember when I was like 16 and I was having these incredibly dark thoughts and really truly hating myself, which is a very scary place to be when you're so young. And connecting with other people online that shared the same thoughts and feelings was not only eye-opening, because it made me realize that, hey, what I'm having is depression. There's nothing wrong with me. It's not me being weak or pathetic the way I thought, but this is actually a thing and other people have it too. And that was a real source of comfort for me in my youth, finding people online that felt the same. So I'm hoping that my putting this out there and being completely honest will maybe help someone else be able to do that, even if it's just in this community or on this channel. I really feel so much empathy for people who are struggling like this, because I know what it's like and I know how insanely hard it is. And if I could, I would just give a hug to absolutely everyone who are dealing with this, because it's a hard battle to fight, especially on your own. So I'm hoping that not only can we be more open in sharing these things, because I really don't think anyone should be carrying these things on their own, but I'm also hoping that there's a chance someone might find some inspiration in this, or maybe able to find some things that can help them combat this illness. And obviously I'm not an expert, I'm not a psychologist or anything like this. This journey is just me fumbling in the blind, basically trying to find a way out of this. So my third reason, wait, am I at third or am I at fourth? Can't remember, but the next reason, or the next excuse I have for this burst of narcissism of creating this channel is that I am inherently and painfully a very creative person. I am an INFP, the worst personality for this society and this world, if you ask me. Part of the reason why I'm struggling so much to find a place in this world and to find happiness is because being a creative and a dreamer and an idealist is just not great for this world. And I need to be doing something creative with my life, otherwise it makes me depressed and unhappy and unfulfilled. And I haven't been doing that in a while, partly because creating something and putting it out into the world is incredibly scary, because we're so worried about what everyone thinks about us and the judgment that we will face. And I've been too, and that has stopped me from doing the things that I want to do and putting myself and my work out there, and that is a big part of why I am struggling so much. So in a way, I'm doing this for me as well, because I need an outlet. I need to be able to be creative and be able to have an outlet for myself, I guess. I know that a big part of the reason why I'm depressed is all of the fears and the insecurities and the self-doubt that's holding me back from not just being myself completely, but from doing the things that I want to do. And some of the things that I want to do is share of myself. I want to be able to talk about things and showcase things and just share and have a creative outlet, or I don't know. And I just want to be able to reach like-minded people and be able to communicate with them about the things that I really care about. So now that I have excused this venture into putting myself out on social media, here's my plan. Here's what I'm thinking that I want to do here. I want this year to be a turning point in my life. I want to go on a journey to try and find some happiness, to try and find some joy, to find back some passion in my life, to try out different methods to achieving this, because honestly I can't, like I said, go on living for another 10 years the way I have been living, and I can't face another 10 years of being this excruciatingly unhappy and lonely and unfulfilled. And you know, it's just, I need change. I need to change and I need to grow, and I think that change and growth happens outside of your comfort zone and in doing things that you're afraid to do and challenging yourself in your fears. And putting myself out there like this and starting a YouTube channel and all that kind of thing is something I've wanted for literal years, but I was too afraid to do it. I was too afraid of what people would think of me, whether I was good enough, whether people would like it. But at some point you just have to say, you know what, not everyone is gonna like it, not everyone is gonna understand, not everyone is gonna believe me, and that's okay, because deep down I don't really care what people think, and I don't want judgmental people in my life. And I think I had to get to a point where I was so deeply unhappy, so desperate for a change, that I just thought, fuck it. If my only alternative is to end my life, then I might as well just try everything that I can and completely put myself out there, and if that is the case, embarrass myself completely, at least then I will have tried. I can always end my life later when I have tried absolutely everything that I want to do. So that's my reasoning, and I hope maybe some of you will come and join me on this journey. I don't really know what it's gonna bring. I don't really know where we're going with this, but I know that things need to change, and I need to change, and my life needs to change, and I'm going on a journey to bring about that change. And I'm inviting you along on this journey. Maybe you're someone who is also struggling, and maybe you're looking to better understand yourself and why you're depressed or why you're struggling in life. Maybe you're looking for some inspiration for what you can do to change. Maybe you're just here to provide support and encouragement. I love that. Or maybe you're just here looking to be entertained, or maybe you're just here to judge me and watch me gleefully as I embarrass myself online. In which case, you're also welcome, because when you're ready to end your life, you really don't care anymore, because shit don't really matter so much anymore. I know this video is probably all over the place. I really should have prepared this a little bit better. Probably should have written up some points that I wanted to say, but I just felt very spontaneously called to do this, and I have to do it while I am in that mindset of just go for it. Otherwise, I will wake up tomorrow thinking, woo, glad we didn't do that. That would have been scary. So I'm doing it now while I have the courage. And I hope all of this made sense. I really don't know that it did. But yes, if you do want to come along on this journey with me into challenging our demons and putting ourselves out there and sharing our deepest, darkest, most vulnerable selves. If you want to make some friends in an open-minded, understanding community, or if you want to just watch this shit show unfold, please subscribe to this channel and come along as I venture into this strange journey of hopefully becoming happier. Okay, I am fully sweating now, and I can't wait to sit and edit this video and listen to my grating voice and look at my face for 20 minutes trying to make this rambling cohesive, coherent, whatever. Thank you for listening to all of that. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you for being here, and I really hope that you will come along on this journey with me. I am now gonna go. Bye.